Hey guys, what is up? Today is Sunday, back with another podcast. It is April 2nd. Happy spring. Happy new month. Let's get into this quarter two. I hope everyone had a great quarter one. And if not, we got a whole nother chance. Today's podcast is titled Losing Yourself. And it goes however way you want it to go, right? But before we do that, how we do things over here. Let's get into two truths and a lie. So, I have two brothers. I live in California. And, maybe I'm giving myself away with this one. And I taught 3 and 4-year-olds. So, you guys let me know what you guys think down in the comments or down wherever if you choose. So let's get into this podcast. So lately I've been thinking about how we often get into situations and we lose ourselves in a way that we do our biddings for other people. We do things for other people to make them happy or whatever the case is, where we put our own happiness at bay in a sense. And if that's what you choose to do, by all means, continue to do that. However, sometimes I feel like we are put in situations or we put ourselves in situations that we have to lose ourselves. And I'm not saying losing is a bad thing, because I feel like when you lose, you kind of gain perspective so that you can win the next time, if that's what you choose as well. And so upon losing ourselves, I kid you guys not, sometimes I'm going through this life and I find myself in situations or in places and I'm just like, I was like, this is not me. This can't be me, And who are we? Who are we outside of who we tell ourselves or outside of who we allow society to tell us who we are? So are we actually lost though? Are we, do we lose ourselves if we do not know who we are? And so I feel like we live in this world now where we create this fictitious thing where we want to be something. And so we aim for this thing and then we gain it. And then what? What's next? So I ask you guys today, have you lost yourself? And in losing yourself, what have you gained? Sometimes I think it is great that we lose ourselves so that we can feel this sort of freedom, this sort of, euphoria where we don't care. We let go. What's that Missy song, Lose Yourself? You just kind of let it all go. Let all the constraints of society, let all of the sayings and the he say, she say, the teachings or, what our parents taught us or what school taught us and stuff like that. And not saying anything is wrong in that sort. Again, it's just that we learn these things and then we come to a point in our lives where we do the things that we learned, but yet it doesn't work for us. And so we're just like, man, I done went to school or my parents done told me this stuff, but what they told me, it didn't work. Or I found out that what they told me just wasn't it. And what I come to realize too is just that our parents were telling us these things or raising us in such a way that they had to raise us because in the circumstance that they lived in, that's what worked for them. And so they taught us what they knew. And it's no fault to our parents, And so for me, I just felt like, I grew up, everybody know, if you don't know, grew up in a Haitian household and especially being the baby girl. So I just feel like as much as the oldest has so much stipulations on them, the youngest also has a lot of weight to carry. And so I feel like your parents or our parents form us already or a thought of how they want us to be and how they want us to act or, and we come out and not necessarily being what they want us to be, which is totally fine. But it's also something that they have to learn. And I've always said this before in regards to raising children. I don't have any yet. However, I just always felt like we as people, we are books that are empty. And as life goes on, life circumstances and the lives we go on and we grow into, those are the things that write our stories. And we as individuals as well write our stories. But I feel like what a lot of parents fail to do is that, or not do, they feel like they are the author, and which in the case that they're not the author. And I mean, they should be, I feel like, maybe the publisher or the editor, where they, can obviously correct, dot the I's, make sure the T's are crossed and everything like that, but not necessarily write the whole story, because at the end of the day, you don't know what circumstance your kid will get into or you will get into. And so that's always one of the biggest things I've always said and I've always stood by. And so in losing yourself, you find yourself. You go into these situations thinking you know it all. And then once you do realize the things that you don't know, you become confused. And then what? So as we go into this Q2, as we go into writing our plans, and this is what we want to do and our goals, keep doing that, but lose yourself a little. And you'll be surprised that you may enjoy just the process of being lost. I've been lost plenty of times in cities, for a tangible explanation. I've gone to places and I just got lost on purpose because I was just like, you know what, let me just go. And it is the beauty that you find in these places that you lose yourself in is amazing. And I hope not today or tomorrow, never, but I hope one day you lose yourself or you get lost, and in the losing, you can get frustrated, because I know plenty of times we've all gotten lost trying to find directions or trying to follow directions, not find them. We're following directions and the GPS puts us on a whole task of not going anywhere, and sometimes that's what happens with our goals. We kind of have to, we write these goals down as our guide, as our map, and we're going. And the next thing you know, we look up, we in the ocean. Be like, yo, Siri, how you get me in the ocean? So, so I just want to, make sure that, don't go into the ocean. I mean, if you can swim, go ahead and do your thing. But go ahead and follow those paths. Write down those goals and dreams. And if you find somewhere in the middle of Q2 that you just kind of like feel lost, or it's getting hard, or, you find yourself wanting to give up, I will say don't give up. I will say either sometimes you have to turn that GPS off and just kind of see where this path has led you, that the GPS did lead you to. So, get lost, find yourself, enjoy in being lost. And to be honest, being such a traveler, have traveled to many places, there's so much beauty in losing yourself, because as you continue to lose yourself, you find yourself. And so I hope everyone is having a great night. And I hope that you find yourself in wherever that is for you. But yeah, that's the podcast for today. Nothing long, like I said, in previous podcasts. And to be honest, one day maybe it will be long, maybe one day it won't. But no particular examples today. But I just really wanted to come on and encourage you to lose yourself. I'm sure many people might be thinking I'm crazy. I am a little bit, but that's all right. Aren't we all? We're all just out here trying to figure it out. And so as you continue to lose yourself, just remember that in being lost, you'll find who you truly are. My name is Daphne Jean, and I am your host of How Was This My Life? Thank you for listening.